Today's story is about how I got friendzoned in the most brutal way possible. Like when I tell you this experience had me questioning life mathematically, friendshiply, and the entire dating system, I'm not exaggerating, twin. So let's get back to the early 2023 flashback. The glory years. Back when I was still living in Savannah City. Life was simple, no responsibilities, no stress. Just chilling with the homies, making memories, and trying to survive being a teenager. Now, one day a new girl moved into the neighborhood. Let's call her Sandy. And bro, the first time I saw Sandy, I genuinely thought life was finally rewarding me for something, bro. She was beautiful, she had the cutest face ever, she was caring, funny, easy to talk to, and her personality was amazing. She wasn't one of those people who made conversations feel forced. Talking to her felt natural, bro. And before I knew it, I had developed the biggest crush on her. Now, here's where things get complicated. One of my homies, let's call him my ace, also liked her. The thing about me and my ace is we had history. Not bad history, just history of accidentally ending up liking the same girls. Sometimes I would talk to a girl he liked, sometimes he would talk to a girl I liked. So whenever a new crush appeared, it's automatically becoming a silent competition. Started hanging around different friend groups just so I could spend more time with her. And eventually we started talking on WhatsApp. And bro, we clicked immediately. Every conversation flowed perfectly. We could talk about random things for hours. Every notification from her had me smiling at my phone like an idiot. And at that point, I thought I was winning. I thought the competition was over. I thought I was cooking. Turns out, I was actually the meal. After a while, I decided to shoot my shot. I told her, look, I genuinely like you, and I think maybe you and me could push something. Then she replied with, sure, you're pretty amazing and funny yourself. Now, if you're a teenager reading this message, your brain automatically translates to, she loves me. So, naturally, I got excited. We kept talking every day, everything seemed perfect. Then one day, something happened. We randomly bumped into each other while heading to the tuck shop. We walked together for a bit and talked. She was in a rush. I was feeling confident. Well, a little too confident. And before she left, I pulled her closer and I kissed her. Wait, bro, the aura I obtained after that kiss was unmatched. I felt like the main character. I felt like life was finally going my way. I spent the rest of the day smiling for absolutely no reason. Then one of my so-called homies, let's come up with a name because I really don't have names anymore. Let's call him TV. TV asked me, so are you dating Sandy? And I said, I don't really know, but I think so. Big mistake, because that night reality arrived. I texted Sandy, we talked as usual. Then I asked the question. The question every talking stage fears. What are we? Simple question, simple answer. Or at least that's what I thought. Then she replied with, we're just friends. Brother, sister, everybody. Gays, transes, lesbians too. I was finished. Friend zoned, executed, buried, funeral complete, child, like done for. I was 9 feet under, my brother. The emotional damage was unbelievable. My brain stopped working. I reread the message about 500 times, hoping new words would magically appear. But no, we're just friends. That was it. And the worst part, I had already convinced myself we're basically dating. I was living in a relationship that didn't even exist. So the next day I meet up with her. I needed like some closure and I needed answers. Because at this point nothing made sense. We started talking, then she dropped the biggest plot twist of the year. She said, nah, I'm dating my ace. I just hope it doesn't ruin y'all's friendship. Bro.
I'm tired.
What, bro?
I must tell you, I'm
What? What do you mean? What do you mean you dating my ace? At this point, my soul left my body. I didn't even know how to react. I just wanted to scream. I wanted answers. I wanted a refund. But instead, I stayed calm. Somehow. Then I asked her about the kiss. Because clearly I needed clarification. And she looked me and said, I was just following your lead. At that point, I nearly crashed out, not gonna lie. I just stared at her. You know that Flight reacts where he just sits there looking all disappointed? That was me. I couldn't even argue. I was too stunned, bro. The next day, my ace and I had a conversation, and that's when things got even worse. Bro casually tells me, yeah, we've been dating for about like 2 weeks. 2 weeks, bro. Now, immediately, I started doing the calculations because the timeline wasn't making sense, bro. Then I realized the day they started dating was the same exact day Sandy and I met. Ladies and gentlemen, I was never in the race. I was the warm up. The entire time I thought I was progressing. Meanwhile, the relationship was already starting. I was basically playing a game where everybody else had already completed the final mission. In that point, I wanted to retire from romance, delete WhatsApp, become a whole fucking monk, focus on school, become a professional tuck shop owner, anything except think about what just happened, bro. Looking back now, it's actually kind of funny. At the time it hurt a lot, but years later it's one of those stories that make you laugh because sometimes life humbles you in the most creative ways possible. And honestly, nobody was the villain. Sandy chose who she wanted. My ace followed his heart, and I learned a lesson. A painful lesson, but still a lesson. Moral of the story, never assume you're in a relationship just because things seem to be going well. Communication is everything. Ask questions early. Know where you stand. Most importantly, just because liking some just because someone likes talking to you doesn't mean it automatically means they want to date you. Sometimes you're the main character, sometimes you're the side character, and sometimes you're just the guy doing calculations after the final season. If you enjoyed the story time, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Your worst if you enjoyed this story time, make sure to like, subscribe, comment. Yeah, boy. And it's your boy. Catch you on the next one.